Thank you for bringing this to the Toronto Film Festival, and thank you for, showing us his amazing life. What was it about Gordon where you went, yeah, he's a good subject?
Well, it was Gordon himself and his many stories, his entertaining way, and yet his inspiring way. It's a nice combination of the two, I felt.
Yeah.
And how can you, it just felt right. My brain kind of knocked from the inside and said, this is it.
This is it. And Gordon, for you, it's hard to be a subject of, we're going back from day one here, and looking over your amazing career and your family and everything. But it's got to be a little scary, no? To be all out there and be honest and trust somebody to be able to give that.
Yes. Basically, I thought at the beginning, when she first mentioned the idea of a docudrama, a documentary, I said, well, I've had a few of these, and I got tired of me, and there used to be a saying, I taught dancing at Arthur Murray's once, and I remember them saying, if you're bored, Gordon, she's been bored for the entire, much longer than you have. So I had a vision of the entire watching population of Canada saying, him again. Get that off the air, for God's sake. So I had hoped that was not true, and I stayed with it. But you live with it, and you do your stuff, and you love the work you do. And so when something comes up like Brigitte, certainly Brigitte, who's so well known for her work, I'd say, hey, I guess I'll see me in a different light if she can manage it,
And did you? Did you see yourself in a different light?
Yeah, I see where the underlinings are now, for things. Otherwise, I would have been just as happy to dramatize myself on the screen and not worry about these things.
Yes.
But it's a documentary, and it's done beautifully. It has a new style to it, a new twist, a new look. Yeah. And I felt part of it. I didn't feel as though I was simply a subject.
Right. And sorry about that.
Talking about feeling part of it, right?
Yeah, it was so engaged that it was, it was responding.
Do you want that taped up?
It may fall again. So that's okay. Don't worry. Yeah, it's okay. It's all good. It's all good. We're fine. Okay. Okay. Where was I? So what I want to know is when did you learn, or you knew that you could trust Brigitte? You really, that's a very important thing. You have to trust the person who's making a film about you.
Well, you do. As I said, I had been in other documentaries and so on. There seemed to be a certain shape to them, a certain way to go. And it would have said very little more than the fact that then he did this and then he did that and whatever. There's not much chance for personality, not much chance for character. And suddenly this idea, this thing that she came up with, and the technology involved and so on, just kind of made me part of the game as well.
Yes.
So I felt like part of the team, and that made me perfectly happy.
Yeah, that's really cool. I mean, when we go back and we visit Gordon as a younger man, it's him, but it's like, explain how you did that. It's really cool, and I think people are going to be really thrilled to see this.
Well, to create a digital Gordon takes a lot of people, a lot of technology. You start with Gordon and you get everything kind of into the computer, and you look at the face and you keep shaping it a little bit more. No, the eyebrows, no, the lips fuller, and the neck and the hair. The hair is some of the most difficult aspects of the whole thing.
Yes.
Very, very hair by hair by hair. But the team behind it, Tom Hillman and Jaime, were incredible, and they worked their butts off for a long time. And we're just now getting it finished.
Yeah.
And then there'll probably be a few more fixing things that have to be done because we're all perfectionists.
Sure.
But we all felt it was the way to go, not to have somebody, actor, recreate Gordon, But to actually have Gordon be himself, be
Amazing.
Gordon,
Yeah.
digital Gordon, right?
Amazing.
And it had never been done in a documentary before that I know of,
Yeah.
you know. And so there we were. And, you know, Daniel Pelwin and Victor Solnicki, the two other producers, were like part of the team, and we just created this vision.
What for you, Gordon, was the most interesting, or the fact reliving part of which part of your life did you kind of enjoy the most, going back and living again?
Basically, the pleasure in seeing the continuity work, from one step to another.
Yeah.
Those steps were very familiar. They always have been. They're there. And I had a habit of living for the future and saying, what's next, what's next, what's next?
Yeah.
So it's taken me for quite a while to dip back and say, hey, oh, now I remember, that was a pretty interesting time. That was terrific. And oddly enough, it's helped each step back into the past, into something, would give me new invention, new sense of maybe appreciation in life itself,
Yeah.
So basically, I wasn't running away or running to the future as much.
Right.
So anything that had to do with the growth within, that fascinated me.
Yeah.
And suddenly I thought, hey, if nothing else ever happens, at least I knew I was someone somewhere.
Well, come on. I want to say, you have touched so many people's lives, and only in a positive way. Listen, I was a little girl when I first got to know who you were, and every year something new and something more amazing, and just such a wonderful, wonderful man. Like, honestly, I want to break into tears because I just, love you so much. I feel like, I know you and grown up with you, and I don't think there was anybody who would ever have a bad word to say about Gordon Pinsent.
I can't imagine it.
No.
Can't imagine.
I don't know. I do know that there had to be pleasure in the work that I did. And I've mentioned it before, that I got in this business for friendship.
Yeah.
Right across the country, that'd be nice. And somebody shouting 3 blocks away in Vancouver, hey,
Exactly.
You got it, yeah.
Yeah. And then you meet, little Sarah Polly, and then you work with her when she's larger Sarah Polly,
I know.
So obviously you struck such a bond with her, for example, that to be in her film, when you worked with her when she was such a small girl, and who was this girl? We knew she was going to be amazing, but, this is special. Not very many people can achieve, I think, what you've done in your life.
Well, it's a peculiar kind of thing, I suppose, or maybe not so peculiar. I didn't ever see a lot of pleasure in working on things that I didn't care for, or people that I didn't care to be around or work with. Putting all the pieces together, and then it made great sense. It made for a happy, perfectly Pollyanna about it, but still,
Okay. Yeah.
I had no interest in just digging up the dirt, and just taking and working for the sake of being a working actor. I simply wanted to, and certainly now I'm finding that. I don't just want to be a working actor anymore. Yeah. I want to be able to turn up for work on a piece of work that I really have looked forward to.
Well, good for you.
And what better to work in the country where you want to live?
Exactly. Yeah. Well, we're thankful that you stayed here. That's for sure. Yeah. I just want to know how you kept this under 2 hours, because, you must have had, you could probably do a 10-part series, I think, with the stuff that you probably accumulated.
Well, I could, but I did have a very strong treatment.
Yeah.
I took my time with that, and we had many meetings and talked about the various, stories, et cetera, and so. Because it could run away with you, like when I made the Hugh Hefner film, my rough cut was 4.5 hours long.
Right.
In this case, my rough cut was like 2 hours and 45 minutes long, 2 hours 40 minutes, much, much shorter, But it's because I had this treatment, and I followed that treatment, and then I went away from it. Yeah. The ending, you always go away,
Yeah.
It kind of speaks to you as to how you should create it. And also, all these various films that Gordon did, I knew which ones I wanted to center on. I was interested in the ones that spoke of Canada.
Right.
And of course, I heard you talk about Babar. The Babar one, of course, it touches everybody's soul, every child, once a child, a young person, older person today, you know, and to just, you don't have to show everything. That's the other thing you learn as a documentary filmmaker, you know, because less is more.
Of course.
You know, it's like a painting, you know, sometimes you use one color and it reflects 8 colors, you know, and having, of course, Gordon as a painter and having Gordon's paintings part of the film, because I wanted to show him not only as the actor, but as the complete artist, you know, so that was very, very important to me.
Right.
And I hope that, I think I accomplished that.
Oh, you did, for sure you did. And speaking of, you know, being just a well-rounded, you know, everything, of course, the theater, you know, we can't forget all your great theater work and your being on the stage, and you were being honored, a very special honor from Stratford. What does that mean to you?
It makes me laugh. Because,
Why?
well, I know Chris, a plumber, and Chris is coming up to present it to me.
Amazing.
I presented to him when he got his.
So it's only fair.
It's only fair.
Yeah.
You know, and he needs it for his career.
Well,
you know,
seriously, that guy really needs to step it up.
Come in.
He does need to step it up.
Yeah. So that's all good. But what were you saying?
No, just how are you feeling about, you know, I mean, seriously, that's a big deal, like Stratford.
Oh, yeah. Well, Stratford is, yeah, very funny. I had a curious time at Stratford. But as a matter of fact, when Stratford opened in the 50s, around the first of that year in the 50s, halfway through the 50s, I was at work at the Manitoba Theatre Centre in Winnipeg. I was the first actor to step on stage for the Manitoba Theatre Centre.
Wow.
And I mentioned this to the people at Stratford when I was auditioning there. I think they thought it meant the Manitoba Transit Commission or something. Anyway, that's where I came from with the work that I had compiled and heading eventually for Stratford. And had a very strange and funny time at Stratford. And slipped away and did a lot of film and things.
Yeah, TV and,
you know.
Yeah.
So I tried to grab onto every doorknob I could in this country in order to keep going at something I really wanted to do.
Well, we're glad that
So that was my life. I had a friend, not a friendly relationship with manual labor or anything. I needed to.
Who does?
I needed to do the arts.
Yeah.
I needed to stay in there and pile it on and hope to God that I could establish myself in a way that I'd build some sort of lifetime for myself.
Well, you have, and you know, just as a fangirl, we just thank you. Thank you for everything that you've given us, and hey, listen, thank you for this movie. It's fantastic, and I can't wait to get the word out there for everybody to see it. So,
oh, may I add one more thing?
And you may add whatever you
I
like.
was at Loblaws yesterday.
Okay.
I can't get this out of my head. An old gentleman said, "You, oh my God, you're one of the original Canadian actors." I said, "Yes, I went on auditions with John A. MacDonald. What do you want from me?"
Well, we're glad that you keep pushing yourself and keep up the great work, Gordon.
Thank you,
It's
darling.
always a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.